We're back at it again with another nickel box hunt for this nickel hunt and album fill series. This is going to be episode number 119, and it's box number 102 for this series 2 books. Hey everyone, it's RobFindsTreasure, and welcome back to my channel. Unfortunately, we only have a 1-box nickel hunt today because the last couple of nickel boxes I've picked up were uncirculated, brand new 2022 Denver nickels, and I had to send those back to the bank. Because it's a 1-box hunt, I will be showing every nickel that I find from 1959 and earlier, just to make sure we have some cadence to the video. Now, if you're new to the channel or new to the series, we're trying to complete a Dansco Jefferson Nickels album from just coin roll hunting nickels, and we've already completed the first series book, took 167 boxes, and this is going to be box number 102 for the second book, and we're trying to beat those 167 boxes. Now, if you want to start the playlist from the very beginning to see how we completed the first book, I have that playlist listed both down below in the video description, as well as pinned up here for your convenience. We also have a side finds book, and we need 5 more nickels for that book, although all of them are better dates. We're going to take these books and slide them out of the way for now. I'm going to get right to the hunt. I know it is a circulated nickel box because I can tell from the holes in the bottom that we have one. And I'll tell you what, this box is glued tight. Give me just a second. I'll get it prepped for opening. All right, I've opened it most of the way, but not all the way. Now let's see if I can get in here and see what we got. All right, we definitely have circulated nickels. I do see my fair share of older Jefferson designs in here, as well as some more modern ones, but you never know what's in the rolls until you get into them. You guys know what's next. As soon as I have a 1959 or earlier Jefferson nickel, I'll bring it back in, and fingers crossed, we can get the 50D we need for this book, or some better dates for this book, and of course, I'll always take silver nickels, buffalo nickels, and V nickels if we get so lucky. I'll be back with my first find, hopefully, pretty soon. Well, we are back soon. We're about the 9th or 10th coin into the first roll, and our first find is going to be a 1951, and there might be a mint mark on that one. Looks like there could be a Denver mint mark. Let's just double check. I don't see a mint mark. It's just some damage. I'll confirm it, but it looks like we have a 1951 Philadelphia nickel to kick us off. Roll number 2, find number 2. A 1959 Denver. Roll number 5 is going to give us our third find of the box, and it's going to be a 1954. And that's a San Francisco, so we can check for that 54 S over D. And I don't see it, just a little bit of machine doubling right there at the S. 1954 S for the board. For those curious, I figured I'd show you what a 1954 S over D over mint mark looks like. Roll number 11, another 50s Jefferson nickel, this time 1957 Philadelphia. Slightly lower mintage actually, but not really a better date and not in this condition. We'll take it either way though and get back to the hunt. Roll number 12, another nickel from 1954. Pretty beat up, 54 Denver. We're on roll number 20 and we have our first nickel from 1955. And that's a 55 Denver, so we'll quickly check it for that D over S despite the damage, and it most certainly is not. We'll add it to the board and look for more goodies. Again, for those interested, I figured I would show you what a 1955 D over S over mint mark looks like, and we'll just click on this image. You can clearly see a little bit of bulbous, if you will, here, the top serif of the S, and you can even see some of it here in the center of the D, as well as some thickness over here. Definitely want to look for that one as well. It does have good value. We're on roll 24, and we're going to have our oldest Jefferson nickel of the box. It's going to be a second year, 1939, and based on its wear, I highly doubt that it's one of the key date 39D or 39S nickels. We don't need those, but it'd be nice to find another one. 1939, is there a mint mark? There is not as expected, but I can look for that valuable DDR, and I don't see doubling on the words 5 cents. You'd see them easily on the E's, and I don't see it on Monticello. Definitely a Philadelphia. I don't see the Henning notch either, but I'll weigh it up. 1939 Philly for the board. Let's find more oldies in this box. May as well go ahead and show you the 1939 5-cent doubled Monticello or DDO nickel. And again, we'll click on this image here so that you guys can see the heavy doubling, clearly heavy doubling on both 5 cents and Monticello. Definitely want to look for this one because in mint states, it's worth quite a bit as well. Roll 25, another nickel from 1955. And that's also a Denver. And again, we'll take a quick peek at that mint mark. Just a little damage there. Yeah, I don't think that's the D over S, but I'm going to wipe that away and double check. If it is the D over S, I'll bring it back. Otherwise, we'll move on to the next roll. Well, it took 28 rolls to find our first Jefferson nickel from the 40s. And this one's going to be a 1948 Philadelphia. Roll number 29, a 1959 Denver. Roll number 30 is going to have 2 finds. I already see the first one, and it's going to be a 1953 Denver. And then I can see it peeking up, so I'll go ahead and grab it. It's our second oldest find, second from the 40s as well, a 1941 Philadelphia. Roll 31, and just like the last roll, we have a couple of finds again. The front one's going to be a 1958 Denver, first from that year. And I see it as well. Pretty beat up 1946 Denver. Roll number 32, our second nickel from 1941, also from Philadelphia. Roll number 33, a nickel from 1958 Denver. Roll number 38 is going to give us a common nickel, but it's in pretty nice shape. A 1959. Hopefully there's not a Denver mint mark. Makes it a little more valuable because it's a little bit lower mintage. But it is a Denver, and it doesn't have full steps. Still a nice nickel, and I'll take it. Roll number 41 actually had an ender, but it was a 1959, so I figured I'd show it with you guys live instead of saying, hey, we have an ender. 1959, Denver again. Running out of rolls. Roll number 46 will give us another find. Unfortunately, it's just going to be another 1954, although it's in decent shape. And that's a 54 Denver. Roll number 48 is going to give us another crack at a key date, although based on the wear, I don't think so. We have another 1939 nickel. It's in better shape than the last one, but probably a Philly. And it is a Philly. Let's check it for that DDR yet again. Not seeing the DDR. Definitely a Philly. And no Henning notch. Second 1939 of the box, unfortunately, both from Philadelphia. We're on the last roll, roll number 50. Have an early find. It's going to be a 1958 Philadelphia, and that's a slightly better date as well. You can see the coin's in better condition, but not necessarily a valuable one, just a slightly lower mintage. Let me get back to the hunt and see if we have anything else in this roll. Otherwise, I'll be back with the wrap-up. Well, that's going to do it for that one box nickel hunt, and there was nothing exciting in the box. We didn't have any silver, we didn't have any buffaloes, no V-nickels, no key dates, and no finds for the book as far as I'm concerned. That being said, we did have finds, 21 finds on the board, so it was definitely a decent number of finds. Just like I said, nothing exciting. The best finds that I'll cover really quickly is a nice 1967, no full steps, of course. A nice 1970 Denver, no full steps, of course. And a nice 1976 with some toning, and no full steps on that one. 2 1939 Phillies, nothing really good about them except for that they're an older year, but common year. A better date 57p in rough shape, a better date 58p in pretty rough shape, and an overall decent 1959D that I will keep because its condition warrants me doing so. That's all we got in that box. Let me compare the finds to the books, although I'm pretty certain we don't have any upgrades or additions. I'll be back with a look at the books and some final thoughts on the hunt in just a second. Well, we've compared the finds to both set of books, and we actually did have an upgrade for the Series 2 book. That 1967 was a slight bit of an upgrade to the one we had in there, a little more hair detail, a little more luster. So after 102 boxes, even though we didn't find the 50D and we're stuck at 135 of the 136 nickels, we did get an upgrade for the Series 2 book. For the Series 3 book, you'll recall it stops at 1961 Denver, so we didn't have any upgrades here, and of course, no additions. So now after 37 boxes hunted, we're at 60 out of 65. Again, I know it was kind of a tough hunt, but this is coin roll hunting. If you're going to hunt boxes, sometimes you get boxes like this that didn't really produce any good finds, but you gotta hunt boxes like this in hopes of finding that next epic box. If you guys enjoyed this one box hunt, I definitely would appreciate that thumbs up. And as always, everyone, happy hunting, and thanks for watching.